welcome to my channel. I'm the Rooted Librarian. My name is Kate, and I like to talk about books, bookish things, houseplants, video games, and other cozy things. So if that sounds good to you, come and hang out. Please like and subscribe. And for today's video, I'm going to talk about books that I've purchased in print, like the physical copy recently. I've been in a huge mood to visit local bookstores and to purchase print books. I would say 90% of my books I get through the library as ebook copies, but I don't know, there's just something nice about having the hard copy or the print form, just, have it on your bookshelves. And that's something that I really would like to do is jazz these up, make these look a little nicer, maybe get a few more, I'm pointing to my plant there, get a few more hanging plants so that can look really nice on the tops of the bookshelves. I keep the plants up there, by the way, to keep them away from the cat because the cat will eat them. So I have to keep them away from the cat. And so the tops of the bookshelves is a good way to do that. Plus it can look really nice. So anyway, I have just been in a huge mood to buy print books lately. So let's get into the books that I purchased recently. So the first book I'll talk about is Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. And I have started reading this. I think I'm about 70% in, and I'm enjoying it so far. And also, this is one of those that has these beautiful sprayed edges. And in this case, I really do like these. I've tabbed it a little bit, but I do really like the sprayed edges. It also has a nice illustrated inside. So that's really nice. So part of the reason why I wanted to get this is because I've heard about it on BookTube, or I heard about it from BookTube, and folks seem to be enjoying it. And so I figured I'd pick up a copy because it is really nice to look at. Ooh, let me get my dust jacket in. There we go. That's a little better, hopefully. So yeah, I figured I would pick it up because it is a really nice addition. So far, I would say I'm liking it. I like the characters. I like the story. The story is focused, so the story is focused on a character named Odessa, who is a princess, a second princess, kind of the throwaway princess of a kingdom. And in this kingdom, or in this world, there are monsters, and there are like migrations of monsters. And when those migrations happen, it can be incredibly devastating to the human population. So there's something called a Shield of Sparrows agreement between the kingdoms where they will intermarry to strengthen their relationships and to also band together better to provide defense against these roving monsters. So Odessa, basically she's not considered to be Shield of Sparrows. Her sister May is. And so Odessa is already set to marry somebody else in the same kingdom that she's from. And then the prince from this rival kingdom shows up, kind of a mysterious kingdom. I wouldn't say rival kingdom, maybe mysterious kingdom that folks are trying to figure out. They're trying to figure out what's going on in there. And this prince shows up and basically decides to pick Odessa rather than May. And her sister May was originally supposed to be the Shield of Sparrows. And then the prince picks Odessa. And so Odessa is left trying to figure out why he picked her. Also, she is kind of thrown into taking on her sister's role, which is basically being a spy for her father, the king. And so Odessa has like no training in how to be a spy and how to rule a neighboring kingdom, and is having to learn everything on the fly. So I did enjoy that this character basically she's not automatically amazing at everything. She has to learn everything from scratch, basically. She has to learn fighting from scratch. And I feel like often with heroines in romantasy type books, they're like really talented in something, or they pick up things really quickly. And I like that this character struggles. She struggles. She is on the struggle bus throughout this entire book. She's trying to figure out how to spy, and then if she actually wants to spy, she's trying to figure out how to defend herself. She's also trying to figure out her this romantic interest, which is the Guardian, and she's trying to figure out what's up with the Guardian and why, figure out how she can get him to trust her, how she can get the prince to trust her, and if they are who they say they are. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say about the Shield of Sparrows, or Shield of Sparrows. I'm enjoying it. It's a good time. Okay, the next book I have is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, and I've read One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns by this author, and I enjoyed both of them. It's just a duology, and I actually reread One Dark Window in order to read Two Twisted Crowns a few months ago, and I actually really enjoyed it more the second time that I read it, which is kind of interesting. So I enjoyed that duology. I figured I would enjoy this, or I hoped I would enjoy this, and I did. For the most part, I would say I enjoyed this. This, by the way, before I jump into the description, you can see that I tabbed it. It doesn't have the sprayed edges, but that's okay. I think it's still a really stunning copy. So anyway, when I've enjoyed the book, or I did enjoy this book, I think that about 80% in, so, you know, not having a ton of book left, I sort of got a little disappointed in where things were going with the story, like the ending. I'm not sure how I feel about the ending to this book. I think some people enjoyed the ending. I think I am mixed on it. I feel like, and this might be an unpopular opinion, I feel like this book could have been a standalone, potentially. Like if it hadn't gone in the direction that it went in the end, you know, to get people to read the second book, I feel like this would have been a really fun standalone. I don't feel like everything needs to be a duology or a trilogy or a series, frankly. I know that that's what publishers want authors to do, you know, to keep the excitement going and to keep people, you know, buying the author. But I don't know, in this case, I feel like this could have been a standalone, and it would have been a really fun standalone, frankly. But anyway, that's just my opinion. I enjoyed it. I think I'll definitely pick up the second book when it comes out. I might wait a little bit to see what people say, because as I said, I'm not sure I love the direction that this book took. So anyway, we'll see. Okay, let me put these down for a sec. All right, moving on to the next book. We've got The Murderbot Diaries, Volume 1. So this includes the first two books. They're pretty short books. So the first one is All Systems Red. The second one is Artificial Condition. And I picked this up because I saw the actor who was in the TV show, the Murderbot TV show, Alexander Skarsgård. I'm pretty sure it's Alexander. It's one of the Skarsgårds. He was talking about his character, Murderbot, and based on his description, I was like, that just sounds really cute. So I decided to pick this up. I think Katie is reading really likes this series, and I trust her judgment. So I figured I would pick this up. And even though it looks like, you know, the Terminator, it's supposed to be pretty cozy, actually. You know, even though they seem like they want to do murder, they actually end up doing more cozy robot things. So anyway, it sounds like a good goofy time, and I'm excited to read this with my partner. We're gonna buddy read it. We usually pick shorter books to read, and then we're gonna watch the show together. So I'm excited to have the book and also to watch the show. Okay, moving on to the next one. The next one also has a beautiful cover, which is part of the reason why I wanted to get this. It is The River Has Roots by Amal El-Motar, and this is a very short little book. I haven't read, I think this author co-authored, This Is How You Lose the Time War? Maybe. I think it's This Is How You Lose the Time War. I haven't read that yet, but now I want to, because I really enjoyed the prose in this and the descriptions. It's kind of like a darkish fairy tale. It reads like a fairy tale. It has two sisters that their singing voices have magical elements to them, and they sing to these two grand old trees that are called the Professors, which I thought was really cute. And the Professors are on a riverbank. The river also has magical qualities to it. And the magic system has, it's very unique. It's based on grammar and how you play with grammar. So I thought that was kind of cool. And I liked how this played with that, how this kind of played with magical systems and language. So if you like language, if you like fairy tales, I think you would like this book. And I'm glad I have it. I love this cover, and it's pretty short, so I'll probably read it again. Anyway, very nice edition and just a fun, quick read. That I have is Botanical Daughter, which was on my favorites list. And I wanted a physical copy of this because I just love this cover. I love the artwork. I like the spine. And I just, yeah, I wanted to own a physical copy of this. This is, I didn't mention the author. The author is Noah Medlock. This is a very interesting horror, botanical horror. It is, what does it say here? I'm wondering if there's like a quick summary. Well, I like this quote. I guess this quote pretty much sums it up. Intoxicating hybrid of blood, botany, and old-timey charm. I would say that that's a pretty good description. So there are two Victorian gentlemen. They are in a relationship together, which is considered taboo during the Victorian times. So they live together as roommates in a greenhouse. One of them is a botanist, one of them is a taxidermist. And the botanist orders this sort of rare fungus or mushroom from another country. It might be, I think it might be in South America. I can't quite remember. But this mushroom, this fungus has unique properties, and he does some experimentation, and it's definitely a Frankenstein's monster type tale. Gothic. If you liked Mexican Gothic, if you like Frankenstein's monster, you will probably like this. And I did enjoy this. I liked the themes of grief, of experimentation, of love. Yeah, so I thought those themes were very interesting in this, and I'm glad I have the physical copy. Okay, next up we've got the second book in a series. I had the first book on my favorites list, which is The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love, maybe, by India Holton. And this is the second book, A Geographer's Map to Romance. And I haven't read this yet. I'm kind of keeping it because I know I'm probably gonna like it. I have this thing where I'll buy or get a book from the library that I know I'm really gonna enjoy, and then I kind of hold on to it because I don't want it to be over with too quickly. So I keep putting this off, but I will be reading this sometime this summer. The first book and this book, I imagine this one's gonna be a similar vibe. The first book was very much a rom-com, historical fantasy rom-com. I believe it is Victorian era, and there's magical birds, there's just kind of magic everywhere, and romance. So it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I would say, would I say this is cozy? I would say this is more like romantic comedy, and yeah, it's very fun. Okay, next up is another buddy read that I did with my partner, which is Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. And this one's also pretty quick, and I also like this edition. I think this is the 10th anniversary edition. It's just very cool, very creepy. And this pretty much matches the vibes of the book. So what is this? Yeah, book 1 of the Southern Reach series. There's this area called Area X. There's a lot of weird stuff that's going on in Area X. People go in to explore, and they sometimes come back out, but they definitely are forever changed. And there's a movie based on this book. I think it has Natalie Portman in it. And I watched that years ago. And now that I've read this, I kind of want to watch that again. And I know that I've heard that they're not quite the same, but I think that would be an interesting thing to rewatch now that I've read this. I would say that I like this. I think I gave this 4 stars. I don't think I'll continue on in the series. I don't feel any great desire to do so. I've also heard that the second book and the third book aren't quite as strong as the first book, so I'm just gonna keep this as a standalone. There's definitely a lot of mysteries that never get solved, but that's okay. It's almost fun. It's almost more fun not knowing. But yeah, I enjoyed the sort of weird mutation, just kind of weird mutation stuff going on in this book. Apparently I like that in my science fiction and in my horror, so this fit the bill. The next book I got at a romance bookshop in the area, which is brand new. I'm very excited that it's here. And I bought this romantasy. It is Rise of the Dawnbringer, which is part of the Bornbane series by I.A. Takarian. I have never heard of this. I got this as a recommendation from one of the booksellers at this romance bookshop. And I've read a little bit of it. My bookmark came out, but I keep putting it off because I keep getting stuff through the library. And I'm kind of at the mercy of my library in terms of what I'm reading. This one, there's a princess, and she basically, I think it's her uncle maybe that is trying to arrange a marriage, and she's not a big fan. She, this is not a marriage she's choosing. So she decides to, she also kind of wants to be respected for herself. She wants to be respected. She wants to be able to rule her kingdom without having to have a marriage alliance or having to be, sent off to another kingdom as part of a marriage alliance. So she enters this, I guess, fighting competition to try to prove to her uncle that she is strong, that she can rule this kingdom. And she thinks that this arranged marriage is the worst thing that's going to happen to her. And she is wrong. So that is all I'll say. That's all I've actually read so far. So if you've read this, please let me know what you think of it. I'm very curious. Like I said, I've never heard of this. I think this may be Kindle Unlimited title. I'm not sure. It looks like it might be, but anyway, Rise of the Dawnbringer. Okay, last book on my purchases so far this last couple of months is A Forgery of Fate. And oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful copy. It's signed. I forgot that it's signed. Let's see, where's the signature? Ooh, nice. And it's, it's got the gold edges. It's just, I love the blue and the gold and just this is just stunning. And I've read, this is A Forgery of Fate. I actually haven't said what this is, by Elizabeth Lim, who wrote Six Crimson Cranes. I did read that one. I think, are there 2 other books in that series? I don't remember, but I did read Six Crimson Cranes. I did not read the second book, but I did enjoy Six Crimson Cranes. So I'm very much looking forward to A Forgery of Fate. I think, is this young adult? I think this is young adult. So I'm very excited to get into this. I'll probably read this in the summer, or I guess we're in the summer now, but I'm definitely going to add this to my to be read. I really do want to read this. So, and I'm glad I own this very stunning edition. Okay, so that's it for the books in this book haul, but I did also want to share some other kind of bookish things that I got. So I got a lot of bookmarks because I freaking love bookmarks and you can never have too many bookmarks. So I bought this one and it just makes me laugh. It's got this raccoon with the books and it says read trash. And frankly, I agree. Life is too short. Enjoy yourself. If you want to read a trashy book, read a trashy book. So I totally agree with the theme or with the prompt on this bookmark. And I definitely do sometimes read some trash and it's a great time. So the other 2 I got from an Etsy shop, and if I can find the name, I will link it in the description box. So I liked the strawberries on this one and the pressed flowers. It has these little like fabric ribbons on it. I think I'm eventually going to replace these with tassels, but I think these are very cute. They are a little thick, so sometimes that can kind of leave a little bit of an indent in books. So just a warning there, but yeah, I do enjoy these. Glad I got them. And then I got a planty one. This is a Begonia maculata, which I really enjoy those. I don't currently own any begonias, but I definitely want to add some back into my collection. I've had a couple over the years and they unfortunately perished, but I'm hoping to get a few more because I do like begonias. I think they're really cool. All right, and then I also got this one, which is like a wood grain type material with the purple tassel. So I often will color coordinate my bookmarks with the books. I'm sure I'm not alone in doing that, but it is a great time. There's just something that makes my heart happy when I can coordinate my bookmarks with my books. And the last one, I got this metal one that kind of hangs off the edge, and it's got this, here's the camera. This kind of graveyard with a creepy tree motif. And I bought this actually, where did I put that book? With a Botanical Daughter in the same bookshop, which is I think a horror themed bookshop in my local area. And I just loved these 2 together. And I figured I'll probably use this for any spooky book that I read. And I'm probably gonna add a couple of spooky books to my summer TBR. So I'm excited to have a little spooky bookmark to go along with those. All right, and that is it for the book haul and bookish things like bookmark haul. And if you liked this video, please let me know. go ahead and leave if you made it to the end, go ahead and leave a tree emoji just for this fun bookmark. And I hope to engage with you in the comments. Let me know if you've read any of these titles, if you liked them, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you. Goodbye.